Welcome back, guys. Today we're going to be showing you how to effectively kill your weeds naturally without harming your animals
or your children.
Thanks for joining us, guys. We really appreciate it. Make sure to click on the subscribe button below so you don't miss any of our content that comes out each week about our family farm here in California. So we live here in the high desert of California, and we haven't had a problem with weeds in the past for some reason, but this year they've gone absolutely nuts.
And then with us both working, it's got out of hand. So we needed to find a solution.
So my lovely wife here, who is super resourceful, found a great alternative to our typical glycophosphate killers that you can get at Tractor Supply or your local hardware store.
Yeah, actually, it's something that isn't really new. You can find the recipe on Pinterest, but the ingredients...
It's always Pinterest.
It's always Pinterest. But the ingredients are things you probably already have in your pantry on hand.
Such as?
You got dish soap, vinegar, and salt.
So our big concern with using the normal weed killers, we have animals that come out here and eat these weeds all the time, like our goats and our chickens and ducks and that kind of stuff. So we really wanted to find a way to kill the weeds but not harm the animals if they're out here eating those.
Right. And our kids too. Like our kids are out here. Some of these weeds have flowers, so go and pick a flower for mommy or whatever, and it's like, I don't want any harsh chemicals around animals or kids.
So the only big difference about this, with the normal weed killer, it's probably about $50 for a big huge jug of it. With this stuff, you are gonna have to buy vinegar, salt, and dish soap. We got them at Costco. The most expensive part was actually the dish soap. That was about $10 for a jug of it. And then you get the salt for about $3, and same thing, a jug of vinegar for about $3 each. And you won't dilute any of the vinegar, so you'll need a ton of it. And
He didn't get me enough.
No, I definitely did not. So
no, even though I said get me lots and lots.
I guess 2 huge 3-gallon jugs wasn't enough.
No,
so.
no. You're gonna need lots and lots. If you have a big yard like this, we have, like I said, it got out of hand. So
we've experimented with a lot of different ways of spraying weeds in the past. So you have your typical 1-gallon sprayer that you walk around with and you can spray weeds. But when you have a property of this size and this many weeds, that's just not gonna cut it. We also have a huge 25-gallon weed sprayer, but that we'd put on the back of our riding lawnmower, but it's a lot of work. It's a lot to maintain, a lot to set up, a lot to clean up, and she wanted to do most of this work because she's taking advantage of her precious time off on her spring break. So we actually ended up buying a 4-gallon backpack weed sprayer. It was super nice. You can get them on Amazon. The link is below in the description. And it's this nice Husqvarna backpack weed sprayer that actually is super easy to use.
it's really cool.
All right, so what's your magic recipe?
Okay, so the recipe is you're gonna need a gallon of vinegar. You're gonna need a 1/4 cup of dish soap. And then 2 cups of some kind of salt. So you can use table salt, Epsom, pickling salt, or even ice cream salt will work.
Sweet.
So this is what we had on hand. I'm just gonna dump it in.
How do you measure exactly a gallon?
I'm just doing what I want. I measure it with my heart. I hate these weeds so much. And then I just,
Eyeball it.
eyeball it. That's what I do. You can do what you want. A little bit of dish soap. And then the salt. Again, measure that with your heart. That's about a cup. There's another cup. And we're good.
Very accurate.
Listen, you want them dead or not?
Yes.
Okay. You ready for the next very scientific part? You ready? I shake it.
Is that your scientific method of mixing it all together?
Yeah. There you go. And then, so cool. I love this thing. Get you one of these, you guys. Hello. Fancy meeting you here. On a mission. That's crunchy. So when I came out here the other day and I sprayed these, you can see they're kind of already dead. So I'll probably have to take a hoe or a rake and just kind of rake them up. But it'd be way easier than it would have been if they weren't already crunchy and dead. So what I did when I came out, I had my toddler with me. We were early in the morning. This thing is cool because when you spray, when you're done exhausting all the spray that's in the tube, this will come all the way up and then you just kind of pump it like this until you get some resistance and then you let it go. And then as I spray, it'll start raising up on its own.
So why is it important to spray in the morning?
Well, I just did it because it's, better. I don't think it matters.
It's usually better because the wind isn't as high in the morning.
Typically.
So,
Typically.
Right now it's not bad, thankfully, but.
Yeah, here in the high desert, we usually get winds in the afternoon and evening, so yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
But I think this spray really activates with the heat, though. I noticed the weeds that I sprayed that were in the shade and that are mostly in the shade all the time because of just how the house is oriented, those didn't die as readily as some of the other ones that get hit by the sun and the heat, for long periods of time. So
as you can tell, these weeds here were only sprayed like 2 or 3 days ago, and they are pretty much dead. In fact, you could notice that they were almost like this even just the night that we sprayed, and we sprayed in the morning, so only about 8 hours afterwards. So it works really well. So how are you saying this stuff works exactly?
I don't know. It's magic. But I think, the salt, obviously, vinegar, it's very drying, it's acidic. And then you got the dish soap that all combined together, it dries out the leaves. And I think it just kind of helps dry everything out.
Real quick, we almost forgot to tell you a very important part of this is cleaning out this weed sprayer because if you leave this salt, vinegar, soap solution in your weed sprayer, it is going to severely damage your weed sprayer. So in order to clean it out, make sure you empty out all of the weed spraying solution, first of all, by spraying it on your weeds.
Yeah, and then when it's all gone, what I do is I come back and I just do like one general rinse out. And I only fill it like halfway up with water, and then I just kind of swirl it around, and then I just dump the water. You can see I already did that here. And then I'm going to fill it up probably about halfway again, and then just spray out the water through the sprayer, so like there's no residue or anything left over in the actual sprayer itself or the tube leading up to it. So
perfect. Yeah, and that'll make sure it's nice and clean and ready for use next time, and you can have it for a long time. Well, thanks for joining us. If you guys have any questions, make sure to put them in the comments below, and check out the links to all of our merchandise and newsletter in the pinned post in the description below. So thanks, guys, and make sure to click subscribe and join us again next week.
Thanks so much. Bye.
You love being on camera, don't
I hate it.
So, my lovely wife here.
You don't have to slap me that hard. It's like, I'm not a bro, man. Stop.
So my lovely wife here.
That was better. Read the notes.
Yeah.
You get to watch the kids while I go.
Yay!
The babies.
You don't need to know about science. This is YouTube.
Quiet.
Hi.
This is awkward.
Yes.